So I finally got my hands on the Fuji X100V. Now this is one of the most talked about and hyped up cameras on the market right now. You can't even buy it if you want to. You're gonna have to either go on a waiting list for months or pay almost double the price in resale. But the crazy part is this camera is 3 years old. And in case you guys are new to this channel, I am a Sony shooter. I have an FX3, I have the Sony ZV-E1, so you might be wondering, why did I pick this camera up? Trust me, we're gonna talk about that in today's video, but first, we gotta unbox this thing. And I am so stoked. There are a few things better than unboxing a new camera, so this should be fun. Let's just hop right into it. All right, Fuji X100V, look at that. But I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm actually really excited to get my hands on this camera, but I'm still a little bit skeptical. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing. Try and get this mic close to me. Okay, all right. First thing, typical stuff, the warranty, user guide. We won't be needing any of that. It's kind of funny, I actually had a Fuji camera years ago. I think it was like the Fuji, was it the X100 or the X100T? Back when I was in college. All right, let's open this thing up. Main compartment here, FujiFilm camera strap, looks good. I'll probably be using a different one I'm picking up, but nice to have. Camera strap, charging cable, transfer cable. Here's our little pieces to connect the camera strap to the camera itself. I'll definitely be needing that. And let's see, over here, hard to get out of here. There we go. And then of course, a battery, which I'm probably gonna need more than one. The battery there. And then last but not least, we have the camera itself. Yep, I think that's it for what's in the box here. Have this displayed nicely out of frame. Does that look good there? Maybe right there. Slightly different packaging than when I unboxed the Leica Q2, but also drastically different price point. Let's go ahead and take this camera out, see what it looks like. This is the best part. Woohoo, there it is. Fujifilm. There it is. Fujifilm X100V. Wow, this camera is light. Nice, we got the battery down there. SD card goes right in there. It's on this side. Ports over there, tilt screen right there. We got the dials up top here, shutter button. Let's see what the lens looks like. Let's take this cap off. Oh man, beautiful. Wow. This thing looks awesome and surprisingly very lightweight. Now, I haven't spent very much time with this camera whatsoever. I mean, so many of my friends have one of these, but the first time I actually got my hands on one was, let's see, a month or two ago with my buddy Short Stash. You guys probably know who Short Stash is. I was speaking at a workshop where he was also part of it, and he had his X100V there. I got to mess around with it a little bit. He also took a couple photos of me on it. I was sold. All right, so let me give you a quick rundown of the tech specs on this camera. We got 26 megapixels, which is a solid amount. A 23mm f2 lens, which you cannot change. You can shoot 4K video, but I don't really plan on shooting video with it, personally. Has a tilt screen, but then the key is it has film simulation modes, which, trust me, we're gonna touch on. And it retails for around $1,400 USD. And I'm not talking resale numbers, I'm saying what it's actually retailed for. Oh yeah, but it is a crop sensor. All right, so now that we got this camera unboxed, I wanna talk a little bit about why this camera is so hyped up, but also I wanna touch on why I decided to pick this camera up, considering I have multiple Sony cameras, and also I have a Leica Q2, so like, why would I pick this thing up? So first of all, this camera is not going to break the bank. I would say one of the biggest selling factors about this is just how small this camera is. You can take this thing everywhere with you. People are not going to tell you put your camera away or think this is a professional camera, etc. Especially since you can't swap out this lens. This is how big your camera body is going to be. It's lightweight, it's small, and especially in this all black version, it really isn't gonna raise a ton of questions. My Leica Q2 Ghost Edition, this thing gets more attention or comments on it than any other camera I've ever had in my entire life. Last time I took this camera to Blue Bottle to go get coffee and to shoot some content, I think I had, not even joking, 6 different people come up to me, either asking, is this a Leica? What type of camera is this? What do I do? Etc. This thing is loud. And I'm not talking about how it sounds, I'm talking about this thing is visually loud, which is not always a bad thing, but it's also not always a good thing either. But here's the biggest selling point, and that is the film simulations, or what Fuji likes to call them, recipes. Now, we're all familiar with presets, Lightroom presets, all that type of stuff. I know I talk about presets often because whenever I'm shooting photos with my Sony cameras or my Leica, I throw them into Lightroom, I throw on one of my Lightroom presets, and I edit my photos that way. What Fuji has built into this camera is something they call recipes, which is essentially presets that are baked into your camera. So how a lot of people utilize this camera, instead of shooting a raw photo, most people actually shoot JPEG images with this, with the baked in recipes. I know I said JPEG. I don't think I've shot JPEGs in 9 years, and it makes the process of shooting photos with this camera absolutely so fast, so easy. That is the attraction of this camera. Not to mention, it's not going to completely break the bank compared to, you know, other cameras out there. And these film recipes is such a cool and unique thing that Fuji has, because you can make all these different recipes for yourself, or you can follow some of your favorite creators and see that the recipes that they've built with their camera. You see some of their example photos, you see the recipe, and you can match that same look in this camera. So instead of doing the traditional, you know, shooting a raw photo, putting it in your editing program, exporting it, and then doing whatever with the photo, this thing right here, figure out the look of the recipe you want. You get that set up in your camera, and then you go out, you shoot some JPEGs. Essentially, that photo's already going to be edited within camera. You transfer it over to your iPhone, and you upload that photo right away, or do whatever you want with it. It takes out so many steps in the process, and that's a really cool tool for creators out there. Is this the perfect camera in all scenarios? No, absolutely not. Is this going to replace my Sony cameras? No, absolutely not. But is this a camera that I could take on a weekend trip or a day trip or going to get coffee with a friend? Yes, 100%. And I'm someone who all the time is posting on my socials, right? Daily kind of behind the scenes content. If I was on a cool trip or doing whatever, you're telling me I could just snap a few photos like this? They're already going to be essentially edited with those recipes, and I can upload them straight from my phone in the matter of seconds. That's a pretty tempting sounding tool right there. And everyone kind of wants to have this stylistic look when they shoot photos. And that's really the key reason why this camera became so popular so fast, right? So no, this is not going to replace my FX3 or my Sony ZV-E1, and probably not even my Leica Q2, although potentially that'd be pretty hard though. But I do think this kind of has a unique place in my camera bag, and I'm really excited to kind of test this thing out and see what it's all about. So please, I need your guys' help. Let me know down in the comments below what type of content you want to see from me with the Fuji X100V. Do you want to see a day in the life? Do you want to see a camera review? How do you want to see me test this thing out? Definitely let me know. Be sure to go follow me over on IG if you guys want to see some sample photos, because I'm going to be posting stuff starting like tomorrow. There's just something magical about having a new camera system, and a whole new thing to just kind of try out as a photographer. So I'm really stoked. But guys, that is going to be it for me. Be sure to drop this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, and I will catch you guys in the next video very, very soon. Peace, guys.